Ladies and gentlemen, the Chord Mojo. Are the new viewers gone yet? I know it's the Chord Mojo, but I'll call it what I like. You see, the internet, most people on it, most people into audio have been sucking this thing's dick for months. So someone finally sent one to me. What it is a portable, battery-powered or powered headphone amplifier and DAC. Same vein as like a FIO E12 or E18. Same vein as the Oppo Hot2. The difference is this is $600. It's made in England. Because of that, I just finished my tea. My teacup's over there somewhere. And, well, I've been giving the manual a read, and I've been playing with it on my phone. And I'm just like, I don't know if testing a $600 amp DAC combo is going to work from Spotify. I mean, are you really extracting the 700... Let me see, let me get the absolute numbers right before I, Yeah, 768 kilohertz insane spec. Oh my god. With Spotify. You're probably not. We're going to look at the build in a second. Here's the manual. Here it is on Amazon. Only 20 left in stock. Order now. And here's the webpage. Now the output power, they listed at 8 ohms and 600 ohms. Not the 32 that's normal. But I could assume at 8 ohms being 720 milliwatts, you're looking somewhere in the 5s, maybe 400 milliwatts at 32. Dynamic range is amazing. Total 100 mic distortion at 3 volts is amazing, amazing, amazing. All files from 32 kilohertz to 768, even DSD 256, blah, 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 blah. Now, Chord, being a very well-known brand, this is their cheapest thing, pretty much. I don't think Chord makes anything cheaper than this. So, people who have wanted a Chord are now able to get something from it. Heavy. Like if I flung this at you from 2 feet away and it went level, you'd have to go to the hospital. You'd be bleeding. The main focal thing on this that makes it stand out is the marbles. The ones you have to lose to spend $600 on an amp DAC. Not that you can't, and not that it isn't great, but, people are just sucking these marbles off. Ooh, there's LEDs behind the glass. Marbles. Now, it has a coaxial input, an optical input, USB input, and a USB charge port, which is showing red because I think it needs to be charged. It's not flashing. I had it charging for a bit. And it has 2 headphone outs, which are identical. Just straight identical. Not one's high impedance, nothing. Identical. If you want to switch it into line out mode so that you could use it on another amplifier and use it as just a DAC, you hold down the 2 volume buttons and turn it on. So let me shut it off. Hold on. Actually, let me shut it off. I will plug just USB signal. That's just signal, but it will still power it off of that from my laptop. And if you read the manual, it says a lot of times if you're running it off of just a single USB, it's still powered by the internal battery, and it might die. Even though it's plugged in, it might die. So you have to shut it off. Never run it all the time. Shut it off when you're not using it. Let it charge. Or you take the Hot2's 4 amp USB charger, which is, by the way, still the biggest USB charger. You run it in there, and now you don't have to worry about it. Ever worry about it. Turn on. Now that it's hooked up to the computer, the power marble, and it is, look, I gotta admit, what's cool, the marbles are cool. And it's basically just there's a dip pin push button behind glass beads that are being held in place by the case. You could lower the brightness if you hold this down. You see that? Come on, there you go. Ooh. Don't know if that saves battery. The power indicator, the power color indicates Where are you? Yeah, the sample frequency. So currently it's red, it's 44 because Windows is running, or actually no, because I have foobar here. And if I were to change tracks to something higher bitrate, boom, now it's green. Now it's more green. Now it's red. So there's your little indicator. Here it's adorable. You have 100 steps of volume, and I know that because I individually pressed the marbles 100 times to watch it change colors. I will hold it down. We're going down. We're going negative. Negative. At some point, one of these marbles will lock. Is that it? Yep, there it goes. So now that's locked at dark. And now this will continue going down and down and down and down until it is off. There's 100 steps to that, and we were at 50 when we started. So then you could hold up, and this will go up and up and up and up and up. It takes a while, but it's a pretty powerful amp, so you're not going to be swinging this from the bottom to the top very often. Let's just keep going. Just still going now. Still going up. Okay, we haven't broken to the high point now, where it shuts off one of the LEDs. Up, there it is, and now it's continuing up and up and up and up and up. We've reached the top. Plug these mad dogs in there right now, they'd explode. In fact, I could test that by lowering this, lowering the actual signal there. And everyone knows mad dogs are not easy to power. And I'm not going to place these fully on my ear because that'll be stupid. Full power Chord Mojo. Ooh. Alright. That's listenable volume at negative 34 decibels on foobar. Wow. Okay, that's too much power. Lower the fuck out of that. Thank you. Let's get it back to like blue. Like, what do you set your volume to on your Mojo? Blue. I set it to blue. Ooh, it's still loud. Yeah, turquoise. Set your Mojo to turquoise for Mad Dogs. No bass boost functions, no high-low gain. It just has an incredible swath of volume ranges. From very, very minute, I'm talking the quietest you could ever set a digital volume, except for maybe the Emotiva, to power no, I don't want to say power speakers, but a lot. A lot. Mad Dogs haven't gotten enough love. Now I'm going to shut it off. It's going to error here on foobar. I hope that AC/DC doesn't ruin this video because I fucking lawyers. Fucking lawyers! Turn that down. Now you can plug in either one because it doesn't matter, because it says it doesn't matter, which... Okay. Hold down the two volume buttons. Turn it on. It's doing a cycle thing. We are at like purplish, and that should be 3 volt line out. And now I'm running it into the Huron 5. So now I'm using this currently to analyze the DAC, because I've used the Aoun's DAC mostly into the Aris. I've plugged a few other ones in, and because I don't want to judge this, I'm going to judge it as a whole, obviously, but I don't want to say, oh, the DAC in it is great and the amp of it is not good, or amp is great, because you can separate it. I can listen to both through it, or I could do this and listen to essentially just the DAC. Ooh, that low end on Lullaby. Who's buying this? Who's buying it, and why are you buying it? It has short circuit protection, by the way, so I can unplug it. It'll be fine. A lot of people complain with high-end things. If you pull it out, the contacts will touch, and it'll be the end of days. There's 3 volts straight to this. And now I can pull it out of that mode by just lowering it. So the volume control will still work even when you enter into line mode. So, am I blown away by the Chord Mojo? Or the Chord Mojo? I'm going to keep calling it different names because silly. I personally don't think it's $600 worth of awesome. It doesn't come up to the expectations from everyone on the internet telling me how fucking amazing it is. Oh, it's a completely different way of processing sound. It's gonna blow your mind. Not particularly. Now, I you know, people could, but you're not listening to the right music, you're not listening on the right headphones, you're not the right sources set up, and you got to get in 768. Look, I'm Zeos. I just plug it in and work it. Here's a little wire it came with. I'm not sure if this came with the unit or if the guy had it built and bought. But I mean, for portability, for attaching it to your phone, if you got it filled with FLAC to the brim and you're using it on this, fine. You get your 10 hours out of it, which is a pretty short lifespan. Although it will legit power almost anything. It's so fucking powerful. But I don't see the need to have this if this exists, which has, well, it doesn't have an optical in, but still has a full all the time line out and headphone out and bass boost and high-low gain, and it breaks the spine of a small animal, and it doesn't get as hot. This thing does get, when you're powering it separately and running it, it gets warm. How does it sound? Zeos, you never say how things sound. Well, because if they don't sound different than other things I've listened to, then why bother? Nothing stood out. If I reviewed this again, because this was, by the way, donated to the channel so I could review it against other things, and I want to thank Bill for doing that. Putting this on my phone, because I had been using my phone just, you know, with nothing or with the SAP 7, putting this back on my phone after months of not having one, I remembered what I loved about it. Separation, and the bass boost was perfect. Putting this on my phone was not spectacular. It sounds fine. It doesn't sound bad. In no way does this sound bad. But it doesn't blow my socks off. Socks are firmly intact. It's cute. It's got marbles. You can play with the marbles. Oh, I've got to play with those marbles. But, you know, blame my hearing, blame my bias towards expensive things. Why would I give $1,500 speakers a plus and a $600 headphone amp a negative if I was biased towards price? You know, if I don't find something overly amazing, I'm gonna tell you it's not overly amazing. I do like the balls. I love them balls. I can play with these balls all day in the bus stop. If you have $2,000 IEMs, you're gonna buy one of these. If you have an urge to take Hi-Fi-Man HE1000s out in public, you're gonna buy one of these. Because you have, obviously, the monies. If you're, working your way up and you just got your first good set, don't even concern yourself with this. This is where you should stop. This is where I am stopping. And I didn't even buy this. This had to be gifted to me. Because I don't commute. I don't get on the train if I got on the train every goddamn day for an hour-long commute and I was bored, I would have bought a Hot 2 months ago. But I don't. So I didn't. So now this is here, and now I get to take it with me on my laptop if I go on vacation or something and have fucking amazing audio quality. Is this fucking amazing audio quality? Sure. I won't deny it does sound good. Doesn't sound better than the Hot 2, and it doesn't sound better than the Aoun with that hooked up instead of the... It's just a good name, a cool build, and it does its thing. It does its thing. It's sort of weird that it can't maintain its own power. One USB will not maintain it on a PC, because if you're spending $600 on something like this, you should, use it all the damn time. Come home, plug in your computer, it works. At least a 1 amp they want. This is a 4 for the power. It still runs. Yeah, I mean, here's the Chord Mojo. It looks cool, feels quality, and it works, but just not for $600. If this found its way into mass drop and was like $300, which is the same price as the Oppo here, then, for cool balls, you could do it. Mojo out.